I also know this next presenter, and she's another amazing light on this planet. I don't know if she's going to tell you about what she does or what she has done in the past, but I mean, she is true. She brought a lot of gifts with her on this planet. She's a powerful and dynamic individual who spent over a decade merging her career as a paramedic in some of California's busiest 911 systems with her innate gifts as a clairvoyant medium. Isn't that amazing? Medical intuitive and energy healer. Combining Western and energy medicine, Sarah has spent years studying both physical and energy anatomy while applying her skills in the critical settings to thousands of patients as they dealt with life and death emergencies. We're so grateful to welcome you, Sarah. Come to the stage. Sarah Grace.
Do you mind if is it okay if I put this off to the side?
Sure.
Thank you. Hi, friends.
Hi.
I feel like I know all of you. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for the invitation back here. Is it a little, or is that just me? A little tinny? You got it. John's got it. He's on it. Of course. Yes. So for those of you who are not quite yet familiar with me, I am just that. Essentially, I've been a licensed paramedic in the state of California for 15 years. I'm still a paramedic. I no longer work on the streets. During the time, essentially, as a child, I woke up, I had clairvoyant empathic abilities. I was raised actually on Standing Rock Indian Reservation in South Dakota way before anybody knew anything about it or cared, right? Pre-internet, and there was no real insight or understanding about psychic abilities or just energetic perceptions. And I was a very conservative, speaking of Catholicism, conservative area. So when I came out at 7 talking about the spirits and the energies and, you know, all of the things that I was seeing, I was shamed and condemned by my family and told that I'd be sent away to the loony bin, which of course was a terrifying thing for me. So I internalized that and had a toxic shame that I ran around with for the next 25 plus years. And it's chronicled in my book, all of the fun ways I tried to take myself out, you know. But essentially what I was trying to do was give myself a sense of identity, a sense of semblance of power or normalcy, because in addition to not necessarily knowing who I was as a person or individual, I was also simultaneously being bombarded by stimulus consistently and constantly. So my perception is it's just kind of a steady stream of visuals and then the knowings and the feelings and the impressions and just kind of the different senses. And so as a paramedic, those abilities started to just flow through me and I became that medic who was always there helping people transition into death. And so it was kind of like midwifing into the next realm, and it was a beautiful space to hold. And after a decade of doing so, I decided that I really needed to become educated and face my own inner fears and demons about what I had created around this toxic shame, thinking that there was something wrong with me. So I did, and fast forward now where I'm at is essentially I have a thriving private practice where I help people to integrate their own personal power and make sense of their energetic gifts in this practical reality. And it's been very, very beautiful. So thank you for having me here. With the mission accomplished, I was like, wow, this is really interesting, because since I've been here, my book has just exploded. We've sold well over 2,000 copies internationally. It's just coming, you know, people are finding it in libraries in Wisconsin or just different areas, and it's really beautiful because it has its own life, right? And I didn't realize that there's so many. I know now through my practice how many of us there are, people that are energetically sensitive, people that are thirsting for more of a soulful connection and or just really looking for some deeper sense of community and connectedness. And so it's really beautiful how that's unfolding. And now, just to fast forward, mission accomplished, published the book, it's gone international. I'm looking at a book deal with a major publisher for my second book. We're in talks with a television producer in Los Angeles for a television series, and I'm gonna begin a retreat center for PTSD integration in Hawaii. And so that, in addition to starting online curriculums for people, teaching people how to thrive with these energetic awarenesses and take them into, like I said, their everyday. That's what I do and that's what I understand. And so I was like, well, okay, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the tangible. And then when you guys invited me to be like, don't just teach, how about be like, share where you're at. And I love that you invited us to do that today because it's been a very interesting journey. Since I was 8 and I had this kind of intuitive knowing that I'd be writing a book and I'd be speaking kind of at a international curriculum or venue about these types of things, it was that drive that I held within me. Well, it's happening, right? And so I had this idea prior. I was kind of thinking like, okay, well, once I get there, everything is going to be amazing, right? When I get there, I will have arrived. And who said it? I'm no longer human, or I've bypassed humanism, or I don't have to go through the icky feelings or the difficult things. And it's been the contrary. It's been very, very interesting because on one hand, I don't want to diminish it all. I really allowed myself, and it was one person in particular. I've had a lot of beautiful feedback about the depths and the vulnerability in the book. But one woman in particular was a methamphetamine addict, 5 years daily use, and she finished my book, flushed her stuff, and quit. And that's been 1.5 years since she read the book. And that moment it was a full circle completion for me. I understood why I had gone through what I had gone through. I had understood a lot of my struggles, and it was a culmination with that single episode that was phenomenal. And then we continue to live, right? And what do we do as humans? Well, that was great, now what? This desire that I'd been holding and working towards and striving towards since I was 8 is coming now to fruition. Now what? Where do we go? And it's been very interesting because I love how it builds, right, with what you ladies said earlier. Speaking to that void space and that loneliness, that deep sense of loneliness and inadequacy has permeated me since I was a child. And I've done all of these external, tangible accomplishments and magnificent things, partly to give myself that sense of purpose, and partly to just allow myself this aspect of living. And when you said that, it really struck me, and I wanted to thank you for saying that. Because here, what I want to witness to you guys today is that it's what I'm coming to find, it's a 2-part bifurcation, and it's simultaneously happening always, where we're in creation of these moments and these projects and these completions and these experiences, and allowing ourselves to actualize that we've completed that while simultaneously surrendering to what is. Because I've had a lot of loss, a lot of death in my life recently. There's been a lot of traumas that have happened, and it's like, wow. So interesting how we ascend to a certain level and we think we're going to get somewhere, and then it's like, well, okay, I guess I am still human. Here's the deal though, right? I think honestly my biggest thing is my humanness and allowing myself to be with whatever aspects present themselves every day is my fruition and my full circle completion. Because I'm actualizing, we're still working towards these things, we're still moving towards these things, and I stand here before you to really honor you, number one, for showing up for yourselves. And I know and I can see in each and every one of you that you have gifts and abilities and contributions that are unique to you in life. And it's a 2-part thing, allowing ourselves to step into that, and then at the same time giving ourselves space to just be with the humanness and the crunchiness. So as I take steps to continue to actualize these things, and I know with every fiber of my being, I can just feel where this is going, and I feel super joyful and excited about that. And I get excited because I want to take all of you guys and we can all create as a tapestry together. It's not about, to me, it's not about one person ascending. It's about all of us uplifting each other and then being willing to say, wow, even in this, like, so you accomplished this incredible thing. wow, okay, so we still have bad days, and we can still feel off, and we can still feel that. And the beauty of the humanness and the beauty of allowing ourselves the fullness of this human experience is really, really my message today, just allowing myself to be vulnerable with that today.